doctor gonna write? Together we will fight.
Jon Jones' lawyer, Christopher Dodd, says, as Jon's lawyer, I'm stunned by the Albuquerque Police Department's decision to charge him with a new case. In the thousands of cases I've handled in my career, I've never seen a case as strange, as unwarranted as this one. Jon was not driving that night. He wasn't in the car. It appears that an intoxicated woman used a false allegation against Jon to avoid being arrested for a DWI, and the police fell for it. Based on the criminal complaint, it looks like they went so far as to seek a warrant for Jon's cell phone records while conducting a misdemeanor traffic investigation. I never heard of such a thing. Truly unbelievable that the police would waste this amount of resources on such a case. Only thing I could think of is the police were targeting Jon for improper purposes. We'll get to the bottom of it and make sure that this baseless case is dismissed, while others think it may not be baseless because Jon has done the same thing in the past.
If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and looks like a duck, chances are it's a duck, yeah?
Ilya Topuria doesn't think that Jon Jones was ducking Tom Aspinall, but if the UFC gave him someone like Alex Pereira, he probably would have taken that fight, so he is ducking Aspinall in that sense. But Jones has always been kind of calculated with his MMA career, especially at heavyweight. He takes certain fights. He may be really reckless outside of the cage, but when it comes to his MMA career, he's pretty calculated with his risks.
You can't even compare that situation. You can't compare like Jon Jones with Islam, you know what I mean? And Jon has done so many great things in the sport. He fought the best of the best in the last 10 years. So I don't think he's ducking anyone. You know, he just wants to retire. He's tired maybe of the game or whatever, and he wants to retire. I don't think he's ducking anyone, because you can find a guy always that, no, he's the next one, he's the next one, he's the next one. Even if he beats Tom Aspinall, there's gonna be someone new.
Aspinall and Ngannou were basically the main two guys people wanted to see Jones fight at heavyweight. That did not come to fruition. So Jones obviously won't go down as the greatest heavyweight of all time. He'll go down as the greatest light heavyweight of all time. Some people would put him number one as the greatest of all time. Anderson Silva, who's one of the GOATs in MMA, according to some people, gives props to Jon Jones. My brothers, thank you for every magical moment. Your dominance inside the cage is unmatched, and this marks the end of yet another legendary era. Daniel Cormier was Jon Jones's biggest nemesis in the sport of MMA, but DC can't deny the special talent that Jon Jones had.
I can tell you this without question. I beat Stipe Miocic. I became the Strikeforce heavyweight champion, UFC light heavyweight champion. I was never better than that time in Anaheim. That was the best I've ever been, and he beat me. And because of that, I will always respect him for his skills and what he did inside the octagon. In that 8-sided fence, there was no one like him.
Jon Jones got the third-round knockout victory in that fight, but it was overturned later to a no contest because Jones had PEDs in his system. He tested positive for Turinabol. Rug and Anatoly Malikin will be fighting in a rematch for the heavyweight championship and one championship at 173 Sunday, November 16th. They fought last November. Rug won a split decision in that one, handing Malikin his first loss in MMA. Now Malikin is 14-1. Rug is 7-1. This rematch takes place in Tokyo, Japan. Cedricus Dumas versus Jackson McVeigh, recently added to the UFC 317 card on Saturday. McVeigh just fought 10 days ago and won in the first round by KO. He has 6 fights, 6 wins, all in the first round. Good ground game, so he has a mix of subs and KOs on his record. Some people are picking him, even though he is making his UFC debut. Cedricus Dumas has a lot of experience in the cage, so he'll have that going for him in that one. Sean Strickland doesn't like America's involvement in Iran. What happened to America first? Cost of living, staggering wages, inflation, how to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to bomb the desert people, help the average American. Regime change. I didn't vote for my tax dollars to defend Israel. I voted for my tax dollars to help America. Has Iran ever directly attacked the United States? If Iran had nuclear weapons, why do we think they would ever attack us? It would be suicide for any nation to use nukes. The Iran nuke threat seems fictional. Ilya Topuria expects to weigh like 174 to 179, somewhere in between that range on fight night. He thinks he could fight at welterweight one day, but let's see how his run at 155 goes first.
Before your UFC career is finished, do you think you fight at 170?
Yeah, for sure. That could happen.
Okay.
Listen, if you have a champion like Belal, or I don't know, many names that I could bring right now. That's an easy pad. Like, you can go slap him and get that title, and that's it.
Topuria has impressed 170-pounders like Jorge Masvidal, who's trained with Topuria in the past and said he's something special. And for him to say that someone is special is something special in itself, because he's fought and trained with everybody.
Topuria a long time. Maybe I know Topuria 5-6 years, and I've always said Topuria will be a world champion. So at the time, I'm like number 3 in the world at 170, number 2 in the world at 170, you know, and me and Ilya are working out. He was always very respectful, never throwing his hardest, but I could just feel, you know, I blocked the shot, shot, and boom, boom, and I go. And I told him after, the first time we trained, I go, brother, God willing, you will be champion, brother. Because Ilya's 1 out of 10,000. I've trained with everybody. Hey, say their name. I've trained with everybody, brother. This guy's special. And I think he's going to be a world champion at 155. He's going to beat Charles, man. He's going to find a way to beat him. Charles is bigger. Charles has kicks, knees, elbows, great jiu-jitsu, good wrestling. Skill everywhere, Charles is good. But Ilya is just different, brother. This guy is special.
That specialness has made a lot of people bet on Topuria. Originally, he opened as a -295 favorite, and a lot of people put money on him at that price. Now he's at a -434 favorite. Oliveira gets hit and dropped in a lot of fights, and when Topuria hits you and hurts you and drops you, he usually does not let people off the hook, so that may be the deciding factor Saturday night. We shall see. In his home of Manchester, there's a new mural that has been put up by Champion. There is only one champion, so fitting time to put it up. Vic's happy that he's been added to the UFC video game. I love it. Thank you so much. Jasmine Jazdavici is not happy that she's not in the video game. Am I being punked? What do I have to do to get in this game? She's now ranked number 6 in the flyweight division. She's coming off a victory over Jessica Andrade, winning by rear naked choke in the first round, and she has now won 5 in a row. UFC 317 press conference. All 10 of the athletes on the main card will be at the conference. Topuria, Oliveira, Pantoja, France, Royval, Vandar, Hughes, Moicano, Talbot, and Lima. Probably nothing too crazy will be said or done at this conference. GSP says when Khabib retired, the UFC tried to make a fight between GSP and Khabib, but Khabib wasn't interested because he was retired. But if he was, GSP says he would have taken the fight.
After Khabib retired, Dana called me and asked me if I was interested in fighting Khabib. And
Wow.
I asked, and I found it was strange because I didn't really believe it, because I asked him, you know, if Khabib really wanted this fight, and he said yes. So I said, let me think about it. Then I called Ali Abdelaziz, and Ali says that wasn't true.
Oh.
And then I knew it wasn't true. But then after, Dana came back and says, when I try to promote a fight, I don't do three people calls at the same time, which is true, you know.
If Khabib was into it, would you have done it?
Yeah, I would not have.
Wow.
I would not have choice.